heading for a place called the Pardoo Roadhouse. It's approximately 360 kilometres from here. The view out the window will change little in the next 3 hours, and it's this area that's hit by more intense cyclones than any other place on Earth. At the moment the target is Cyclone Terri, out to sea, 200 kilometres out to sea off to the right, and tracking the same direction as this road. In the next 2 days, Wednesday night, I'm picking, it will have intensified to a Category 3 cyclone with winds of over 200 kilometres an hour, and it will make landfall somewhere in the area of Karratha or Port Hedland or Dampier. This is Cyclone Terri, and this is Port Hedland, which is where I am right now. So this looks like it's going to just curve in there, but with cyclones anything is possible. Okay, here we see the latest satellite image of Cyclone Terri from the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre. You can see it right there. It doesn't have the defined eye that you get from a more intense cyclone, but nevertheless it's still quite visible there. And here's the coastline of Australia. It's Exmouth, Port Hedland, Karratha, sort of in here, so it's pretty close.
And now we have Tropical Cyclone Advice number 21, issued at 5 to 9 this morning by the Bureau of Meteorology's Tropical Cyclone Warning Centre in Perth. A cyclone warning is current for coastal areas between Pardoo Roadhouse and Port Hedland. At 9 o'clock this morning, Tropical Cyclone Terri was located 140 kilometres east-northeast of Port Hedland and 40 kilometres northeast of Pardoo, moving southeast at 22 kilometres per hour. The cyclone will cross the Pilbara coast between Pardoo and Wallal about 10 o'clock this morning. Destructive winds with gusts to 155 kilometres per hour are expected near the cyclone centre in the Pardoo area this morning. Gales with gusts to 90 kilometres per hour are expected in the remaining coastal areas between Pardoo Roadhouse and Port Hedland.
The eye of the storm. It appears that at the moment the eye of Cyclone Terri is passing directly over us. We have almost no wind here at the moment. Shortly the winds will pick up again to somewhere up to 150 kilometres an hour very suddenly.
The latest radio report a couple of minutes ago was that the eye was just crossing over 30 kilometres north of the Pardoo station, which puts it about in line with us this very minute. So I would expect within a few minutes it'll be right over us.
So traditionally the second half of the cyclone is stronger than the first half?
Traditionally that's the way, yes. Yes. Normally it loosens things up on the way through and does a bit of damage after they pass through.
Are you expecting much? This is not too bad as far as cyclones go?
No, I think if we have to have a cyclone at all, this is probably the one I'd prefer to have, yes.
starting. I think the show is beginning.
Okay mate, you're probably used to cyclones up here. How does this one rate?
It's pretty decent really for a Cat 2. Seems pretty windy, but not as rough as some of the ones I've had here. They're pretty, yeah, that's a fair gust of wind. Yeah, that's pretty windy.
I think we better go inside.
I think so, mate.
The second half of Cyclone Terri is now beginning to take effect, with winds of up to 150 kilometres an hour here at the Pardoo Roadhouse.